Hello, 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 welcome back. So today I'm going to be going on a date with my man, and I realize that it's COVID, but we live in Ontario, and at this point they're opening up the province in stages, and so we're gonna head downtown and see what's open and what we can do, because you know, I miss hanging out with him, and not on like a Netflix and chill basis, but as a I want to go on a date with you basis. So today I'm actually going to be trying 2 new foundations. This is kind of sucks because the shade that I wanted was sold out. So I was like, okay, I'll order the shade that's lighter and then a shade that's darker in hopes that it'll work out, but obviously it didn't. So still gonna try it out just because I think that this is probably going to become a favorite foundation for me. So yeah, I'm going to be walking you guys through this entire process of me doing my makeup. And yeah, I'm going to be starting off with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I just have it here on my palm. I love this primer. It makes my skin feel super smooth, and I think it is a silicone dimethicone base. Well, it definitely is because of the way it feels, but it makes my makeup last really long. So that's primed. I'm just gonna let that sit for a little bit. And I have a bit of lip balm on my lips, but I'm actually gonna pre-prime my lips with another balm. This has SPF 30. This is the Shiseido UV Lip Color Splash. I just have this in Tahiti Blue, but it's honestly just clear. Tube looks like this, and it's just a sunscreen lip balm. So the foundation that I'm going to try today, which I'm super duper excited about because it is Raw Beauty Christie's, well, one of her favorites, and it's honestly a favorite for some of my favorite YouTubers on here, small or big. So this is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. I have this in the shade MG2 and MG4. MG4 would be like my forehead shade, but it's way too dark on the rest of my face, and MG2 is like my extra pale winter skin shade. So I'm gonna be mixing the two to make my skin tone shade, and then using MG4 as sort of a bronzing contouring shade, and then using MG2 as a highlight. So I'm utilizing both foundations, but I have also ordered MG3 because I think that is my skin tone shade. And what I love about, because I already swatched this previously, but what I love about this foundation that is super innovative is the packaging. Now, the one thing that I don't like is how messy it gets, because it has the pump mechanism, so this big thing that you see here, so it kind of makes the rim of the bottle really messy, but it does, you know, have a doe foot at the end of this straw here, and then a pump. But I'm not going to use a pump because I kind of just prefer the doe foot, and I'm gonna go ahead and take MG4, and I like using the padding of my thumb here to mix, just because it has really little lines, like not many lines, so the product doesn't actually get too absorbed into my skin. And then I'm gonna take MG2 and then just scrape off whatever is on the doe foot, and then I'm gonna mix the 2 shades to hopefully get my perfect foundation shade. So I just like to take the end of any brush and make sure it's clean. And these are the shades. They are really different. But what I like about this foundation, shade-wise, is that it's not orange based at all. It's literally yellow based. So their warm tones are literal yellow based. So for all of my Asian girls or guys out there that have issues finding a good foundation with a good color, oh yeah, that's a pretty good shade. Just gonna spread that out with this barrel. I have already used this once just to test the color, and I loved the texture and the finish. It's like a soft matte finish, but it doesn't look heavy, which is a oily girl's dream. I'm gonna be taking my Morphe times Jaclyn times Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush. This is her foundation buffing brush, and I'm just gonna take the excess into the brush, and then just wipe off my hands and hope that this is enough foundation to cover my whole face. I'm not looking for like a super heavy coverage today, but I do want to look cute just in case you take pictures, which I'm hopeful that will do because, you know, trying to make memories this summer. And I realized that summer is canceled because of COVID, but it doesn't hurt to try. So this foundation doesn't have any scent, which I love because I'm super sensitive to fragrances. You can already see, even in the ring light, it does have like a yellow undertone, which is great. I mean, in person, it doesn't look like overly yellow or anything. In terms of the texture, it doesn't really remind me of any foundations that I currently have. It just really has a concealer consistency without being heavy. In. Okay, and then I'm gonna just take the shades individually to, you know, add more dimension to my face because I don't like to use too many bronzers or anything like that. I'm taking MG4 just on the areas that I would usually bronze, and it'll just give me a naturally sculpted look. And then I'll take MG2 to put in the areas that I would usually highlight. So like right here, and right here, here, a little bit on the chin. And I'm actually gonna use an actual highlighter on my cheeks later. So it'll be kind of difficult to tell the color, but if you can kind of see, it's just slightly darker on my cheek area because I'm just stippling on the MG4 to get a natural bronze shade. This finish is so beautiful. Like, it's one of those finishes that I don't even feel the need to set because that's my little sister. And for the MG2 areas, I'm gonna be using a different brush just so that we don't alter the color too much. That looks really good. My skin looks so perfected right now. The major issue with my skin is not even acne at this point because I think I've gotten that under control over the years. But at this point, it's kind of just my acne scarring, because if you saw earlier on my bare face, it looked like I had acne because of my acne scarring. But now that you see that the scarring is covered, my skin texture is actually pretty darn good. Like, it's improved a great deal from the way that it was before. And I'm not really using the MG2 to fully conceal my under eyes because I'm gonna be using a concealer for that. My skin looks so good right now. Look at this. Look at this coverage, and it like doesn't feel too tacky. Like, I think that if I give it a moment to set for itself, it's gonna set. I'm just gonna be using my Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna let that set on my eyelids a bit, and while I do that, I'm gonna take my Fenty Match Stick, and I'm just going, and this is an amber, I'm gonna just contour a bit more on my chin. I'm not gonna carve out my cheeks because I kind of like the full cheek look. It's more youthful. And I'm gonna use the lighter brush to blend this out. The only two palettes that I really want to use, and they're kind of the same color story. This is the Cashmere palette by Viseart, and this is the Mini Glam by Natasha Denona. So again, I just want something really simple because I know that even if I have primer on and it's not even the primer's fault, I will eventually crease if it's too hot. I'm just gonna take a powder, any random one, to set my eyelids. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade here. This is like a tan skin tone shade almost, but on me it's like a very, very soft brown. Have y'all tried the Fenty foundation? I tried it out a few months ago, and hydrating foundation, by the way. I tried it out a few months ago and I didn't like it. It looked so heavy on my face, and although the shades that I got were common shades that a lot of Asian YouTubers were using, I just got like the darker one, which was 210. It still looked really peachy and orange on me. Like, I was really hoping that would become a holy grail foundation, but I had to return them. I got both 190 and 210 because those seem to be the shades that a lot of Asians wear. But yeah, it didn't work out for me, and it looked so heavy on my skin. It didn't look like skin-like. It looked like it was sitting on top. And then I could just continue using this palette, but I really want to use this palette, the Cashmere palette. I'm gonna be taking just the shimmer shades today. I think we shall see. This is Sephora number 15, and I'm gonna go into this middle shade. It's like a sand color. And then using a flat blender brush, it's like pinched at the barrel, I'm gonna take the beige and deepen up my crease. Now this is not gonna make a super big difference, but it's just enough for my Asian eyelids because I just want a little bit of definition. Although I might deepen it up depending on how I feel. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for my eyes really, because I'm not looking for a really heavy look. And then I'm gonna finish off my eye with this palette after I conceal my face. So let's see. This is my all-time favorite concealer at this point, and it's pretty darn amazing. This is a Milk concealer, Flex concealer. I'm gonna use the shade Light. I have it in Light and Light Sand. Light Sand is a perfect skin tone shade for if I need to cover acne or anything, but my skin's looking pretty good, and the foundation actually covered up a lot of my imperfections, so I'm not really worried about my chin or anything, because, you know, as long as it's not a dark red spot, then I'm fine. Now I'm gonna take my favorite setting powder that is gonna make my makeup last all day. I don't use setting sprays, so I have to really rely on a good powder. And the powder that I'm gonna be using is my NARS Pressed Translucent, and I'm just gonna take it on my Morphe E1. This is an amazing powder brush. It's so good for like packing, but like not caking. Do you see how blurred that looks? Like, I put spit all over my face. But this brush really just presses the powder into your skin without it looking too heavy. I've noticed that when I use this powder with like a fluffier brush, for example, like if I use my Hourglass ambient brush, it makes my makeup look kind of cakey, even though this is a really thin texture. But when I use the E1 brush, my skin looks like matte paradise, which sounds really weird, but it just looks really good. So I like to set my face before I do my brows because I don't want powdery eyebrows. Just make sure to set the inner corner because it gets oily there too. I don't usually go for a super matte look, but because I know that I'm gonna get oily after, that's why I do this. So it looks super blurred, and also I just don't like my foundation feeling tacky. Just blend that down my neck a little, set it down. Okay, now I'm gonna finish off the rest of my eyes, and I'm just gonna drag basically the same colors down onto my lower lids. And then I'm gonna take this shimmery, kind of a dark champagne shade. It has like a little bit of gold, but it's more bronzy. I'm just gonna pop it in the middle and towards the inner corner. And then I'm probably gonna use Steal a Kitten for my inner corners, just because that's the one eyeshadow that really gives me the pop that I love. But I'm gonna put a base under that. This is the Apu eyeshadow stick. This is their champagne shade in SBE01. Okay, now I'm just gonna take a smaller brush. Okay, this is Steal a Kitten. And now you're gonna see what a difference this makes. Like, look at that pop. Steal a Kitten it should be a staple shade in everybody's makeup arsenal, just because it's so pigmented. It's like the perfect highlighting shade for literally anybody. Like inner corner highlight. Although sometimes I wish it was just a little bit more champagne-y, but it's great for when you really want to brighten up a look. I'm just taking up my Benefit Brow Gel and, oh shit, sweeping my brows up, brushing and pressing the gel onto my skin and really sticking the hairs up. Then I'm going to take my Cosmetics Brow Cream in Taupe. This is amazing and one of my favorite products. Now we're gonna curl the lashes. I really like to over curl my lashes, and I use waterproof mascara to make them stay all day. I'm gonna take my L'Oreal Bambi Eyes mascara in waterproof because it is very natural. And I just use this as a first layer before I layer anything else over it. It's a more natural looking mascara, so I do this if I am unsure of whether or not I want to do a really dramatic look or a subdued lash look. Because naturally I have pretty long eyelashes for an Asian, as you can see, so I don't really need to wear falsies or anything, and quite frankly, I don't prefer wearing falsies for the sole reason that I have oily eyelids and they tend to lift on my inner corners when I wear them. I'm gonna take my trusty L'Oreal Telescopic in waterproof and just wiggling it in my lash line because I don't wear eyeliner, as I've said many times. So I like to wiggle it into my lash line for a tight line look. And this mascara also gives length and volume, but I don't want like super dramatic volume today, which is why I'm using it. I just want more density at the base of my lashes. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between like this eye, for example, which looks really natural. And then I'm just gonna apply a little bit, just like the tiniest bit, to define my lower lash line so it doesn't get lost in my eyeshadow. I think that I'm gonna add a little bit of nose contour. I'm just taking my favorite. This is the Too Cool for School art class by Rodin. It's like the 3-shade contour powder, and I take the 2 lighter shades and I use that to contour my nose. And this is the e.l.f. concealer brush. My nose is slightly crooked at the tip, so I like to correct it by shading on this side to kind of push it this way. And then I'm gonna pop on a little bit of brightener. I'm gonna take my ambient lighting powder and diffuse light and just kind of buff that as the highlighter shade for my nose because I don't want a stark highlight. This is the NARS Deep Throat, just like the tiniest bit, like so little that it's not even noticeable. Buff out any excess. I don't think I'm gonna add any highlighters today, but I do wanna add a little bit of bronze, just a little bit more on my cheeks. I'm gonna take the Ghost palette from Hourglass and into just this bronze shade, I'm gonna mix it with dim light. Just right on my cheek area. It kind of gives a more like suntanned look. I know this is probably not like what people usually do because it could muddy up your look, but I like it. I just take the E31 to buff out the color so that it doesn't look harsh. Just give my hair a little shake. I'm probably just gonna tie it up later, but this is my final product. Whoa. Okay, let's fix this up a little so we don't look like a mess. All right, this is really natural, and the lip shade that I'm gonna use is the 3CE Plumping Lips. This is in the shade Rosy. I'm just gonna pat this on my lips because, like, look at that. It's already so glossy. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll apply a little bit after I eat, but that's so glossy. Imagine layering it multiple times and running it through your lips. Your lips are literally gonna look slick. So yeah, I'm just gonna stand up to show you my outfit. This is a set that I got from Jena. God. Okay, so this is the top. It's just this really cute tie top, and then these are the shorts. I don't know if you can see. These are the shorts that it came with. These are an army color, and it came in this set. It's a really cute outfit for when you don't know what to wear. And this necklace I got from Ana Luisa. It's just a really cute, dainty beaded one. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Whoa, let me sit down. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna like put my hair into a ponytail or like a bun. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how hot it gets. But thank you for joining me and watching this video through and through. I hope you enjoyed this video, my little, you know, mini reviews, and like testing this new foundation because it's still looking super gorgeous on my face. I might do a check-in later, but we will see. Yeah, I feel cute. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.
How you like that? She a little bad. It's a little, yeah. Dang, girl, you got me head over heels with it. Hey, danger. You out here dressing a kid with it.